Needless to say, I was kind of punished for my transgression way early on, for even attempting to play a bard character. Yeah, I don't really even make that great of a bard character, anyways. I kind of learned I'm not that great with bards. My kind of niche is more of like the ranger or rogue character sort of thing. Um, you know, I'm pretty good with a fighter, but yeah, I mean everybody's good with a fighter. Anybody can play a fighter. Um, you know, I normally never play like the wizard character unless it's like an evil campaign, and then I'm playing the evil sorcerer character, and that's the only time you'll probably ever see me play any kind of magic user really anymore these days. Because evil campaign, you're not restricted with that sort of stuff, right? So yeah, it's a little bit more fun. You do a lot of fucked up things as an evil sorcerer, and we do technically have an evil campaign running off and on. Although normally when we play a session of it, we play like one session of it, and then it takes us a while to get back to it because we normally, whenever we play an evil campaign, do a lot of fucked up shit. So it's just like you got to give everybody that breather, right? Especially me. I'm very what's the word for it? Like kind of sinister. I'm a little bit malevolent. I should say. A lot of the characters, and I'm not trying to get off topic, but a lot of the characters we have, a lot of the people who play in our evil campaign, most of them are what's known as murder hobos. They just want to kill people. My character more so like wants to take over like the country and stuff and like spread plague and all kinds of nasty like diseases, and then like once people start like dying, my character likes to resurrect them as zombies. I'm basically, my sorcerer in our evil campaign is basically on the fast track to becoming a lich, right? And so everybody's over here like, just trying to find an excuse to like murder the bartender or something, or like get into a fight with like this, sect of the royal guardsmen or whatever at this town, so that they can be murder hobos. One guy, he's got this thing where he likes to light shit on fire all the time. Another guy plays a warforged where he's got this real thing against, you know, people with flesh, that kind of archetype, right? Where it's just like, oh, I'm warforged and I'm going to call everybody meat bags and I'm going to kill the squishies, that kind of person, that kind of archetype. I'm sure you've played, if you've played an evil campaign, you've probably played with somebody kind of like that. Any excuse to be a murder hobo. I'm getting really off topic here. Yeah, any excuse to be a murder hobo, they take it, and then they turn around and they see me, and I'm not, I'm not murdering anybody unless it's a part of some sort of symptomatic plan where I'm planning to do it on like a massive genocidal level so that I can resurrect zombies and cause a fucking zombie outbreak. And they're just like, dude, like what? So yeah, I like to go overboard in our evil campaign a lot of the time. There are some people who are kind of worse than me in like smaller instances. Again, I'm like the bigger picture guy, but there are some people who are just like, amongst our group. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to name names, but there's certain people where you're just like, yeah, certain murder hobos where you just got to be like, yeah, dude, I think he's dead. You don't have to pound him into chunky salsa. Whatever. Yeah, so getting back on topic, the other individuals in our campaign, Terry was playing a dwarven faux hammer paladin of Moradin, a hammer brother, and David, and Duncan, I guess, was cool with this from the start. I guess they had a conversation, before we even showed up for the session, where David passed a few ideas along Duncan's way, and Duncan just gave it to him. So David played this dwarven sword mage, which, basically the sword mage character is like this arcane magic user who wields his magics through the weapon of his choosing, right? So he's a dwarven sword mage who also has a golem of his own that is kind of semi-hollowed out into a walk to make it into a walking shop, like a walking potion shop, right? It's like an alchemy type thing, and half of it is hollowed out, and the other half of it on its back, expanding outwards, is like this backpack. That's propped up in this square-like position. And it's basically been turned into this, this walking store. And inside this living golem alchemy store that he has accompanying him along the way is this fucking halfling guy who helps run the store. And so these guys are coming with us. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why do we have a guy who's got an entire potion store with us? Doesn't that kind of defeat whatever purpose? Doesn't that just make this kind of easy? And Duncan just kind of has to, hold me aside. Don't worry, they'll be dead soon. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, great. Yeah. So yeah, he didn't intend for the golem or the halfling to live too long.